I'm Teresa Matic with the Investing News Network. Here with me today is Ken McNaughton, CEO of Camino Minerals. Ken, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. So Camino is a junior company conducting greenfield exploration primarily in Peru. Can you give a quick overview of the company and your Red Beds project in particular?
Absolutely. I took over management of the company in March, and since then, yes, we acquired the Red Beds project, have been completing all of our community agreements, and then a very widely spaced regional program defining up to 20 kilometers of high-grade copper-silver beds in central Peru.
Okay, and you're raising money for a drill program right now at Camino. What's that going to look like? What will the goals be?
The goals, this is a sediment-hosted copper deposit, so this is a brand new discovery. The potential on these deposits can be anywhere from 1 million tons up to 1 billion tons. So that first program, we've seen the potential on surface. We need to establish what's the depth potential, and with that, that's going to tell us where are we within that range that these deposits can generate.
Okay, and talking about jurisdiction for a moment, with all the protests at Tia Maria that might have some investors worried, is that something you're seeing, and what do you say to investors who might be worried about that?
You know, it's hard for us in North America when things hit the news to not extrapolate it, and the Tia Maria incident really is a very small part of the country, and it's isolated to a specific project. We've got a great community relations team. We've got a great relationship with our communities, and really it's you have to view it project by project, area by area. So what's happening down there is not symptomatic of the entire country, and it's also how does the company, go in and get themselves, deal with these situations and the local communities.
Sure. And overall, what have you found to be the biggest benefits and challenges of operating in Peru?
There's clearly cultural differences. There's Lima culture versus the Highland people culture. So, and then there's North America and Latin culture. So, but I've through my experience with Silver Standard and now our private company there and now Camino. I've been working in Peru for 25 years. Very comfortable. Our managers down there are North Americans, but they live in Peru. We've got a lot of Peruvian staff. So, we're very comfortable with Latin culture. We're very comfortable knowing how to operate and the timelines that are there. And, it's a great country that's the second or third largest producer of copper and the second largest producer of silver. So if you want to be precious metals and copper focused, you need to be in Peru.
Okay, and outside of Peru, you've also optioned some properties in the U.S. as well. What's the draw with those?
Well, again, with my Silver Standard 20 years experience there, we worked a lot in Mexico, we worked a lot in North America, and, it gives us some diversity, and then in particular, the projects that we looked at came with two of the prospectors that brought all of Silver Standard's success in Mexico and the Camplat success in Mexico. So we were very happy to be associated with them, and it gives us another avenue. So while we're primarily focused in Peru, as time progresses and the company grows, I would be very happy to be back in Mexico and look at things elsewhere.
Okay, and finally, as you mentioned, you have a lot of experience with Silver Standard, you're still with Pretium and your exploration. How does that experience translate to Camino?
We have all the machines that make those companies successful. All of that infrastructure is all there in terms of, knowing how to run a company, knowing how to drive a project. Obviously there's almost no overlap between me or Camino and Pretium, other than my desk. However, the systems are there, and it's easy for us to pull those systems across. And, there's shareholder recognition, which, is certainly helping Camino out a lot.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining me, Ken.
Very good. Thank you, Teresa.
I'm Teresa Matic with Resource Investing News.